Hi, this is Chanel and I will show you how to use the Headless Accelerator to set up Magnolia DXP and Salesforce PWA kit in no time. I will jump directly into it. What you're seeing is my VS Code with an integrated terminal. The Headless Accelerator is a CLI tool which will wire everything together. I previously installed the CLI through npm, the command name is HA, and I will use the jumpstart command and log in with my Magnolia credentials. And once you have done that, you can choose various kind of templates to jumpstart your project, and we will choose the React Salesforce Magnolia integration. Once added the project name, it will download our template, which is fully based on the PWA kit CLI you are providing. And we bundled it together also with a lot of images. That's why this take a time initially, so that you can really start with content ready to serve, also with editorial content added to the DXP. In the meantime, the template is extracted. You can see that on the left side on the screen that now my PWA kit is jumpstart. And in the terminal, you can see that we have extended everything to set up the PWA kit. So it's requesting your API and client keys and all the configurations to connect to the Salesforce Commerce Cloud. We have provided default credentials which will connect to our Magnolia sandbox directly. So if you want, you can just use this to show a demo of these two systems connected together. So once everything is connected, the CLI has configured the PWA kit to our instance. If you have your own credentials, obviously then Magnolia and the PWA kit are set up properly to connect to your Salesforce Commerce Cloud. You're probably aware of the structure of the PWA kit. If you go to the configuration files, you can see that the CLI has configured everything accordingly to the items and to the input we have given in the CLI prompts. So now everything is downloaded and configured, all NPM modules are installed, and also a local Magnolia instance was set up for us ready to use. We are providing you with a dev console, which is a command line tool to start up both systems and all systems we need automatically. The command name is dev, and this is our console. As you can see on the lower left side, you see the log files from Magnolia, how it's starting up, and on the right side it is starting up the Salesforce PWA kit server. So now I can log in to my Magnolia system, and let's have a look what we will get. I go to the pages area and I can open my Hello Salesforce homepage. And this is basically the landing page generated from the PWA kit, and it's editable with the SPA editor within Magnolia. And as you can see, these products are out of the e-commerce cloud. And what is the difference between a static front-end deployment and SSR rendering and this headless commerce and headless e-commerce approach? So with our integration, you can take the static landing page in quotes and extend it with editorial content. So let's say I want to add a new product. I can choose the product component and I can select a product from the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and you can see the full product catalog is at my hand, and I can choose a product, save it, and now I have extended my landing page with the product I just chosen. And if you like, you can also use drag and drop to change and rearrange everything on the landing page. And this is the very, very powerful approach. But for you, the important part is that in the back end, we are using the PWA kit as it is. So there's no other knowledge needed and no other technology needed to extend the whole landing page. Let's have a quick look how this whole thing is looking in the back end. And let's also have a look how to add a new component. Foremost, it's important, I'm now back in VS Code, to see that you can use any component, any React component, to be able to make it authorizable. What we have provided as an example is in the components folder, your title component, that's the one you provide out of the box. So we haven't touched anything here, literally nothing. And as you can see, the title component is expecting a property title. The CLI takes care, so what you can do at any component in your PWA kit environment, you can add a YAML file. You know this format from Kubernetes and other cloud configurations, so you should be familiar with it. And in this YAML definition file, you can define the properties an author can add and change. So in this case, we have defined a property type text field with the name title. And as you can see, this is the property also used in my React component. When I switch back into my environment, I can add a new component, add that to the main area at the very beginning. This is my title, click next, my title component, and it will be displayed on top of my landing page with the React component I just have written. Here we go. Let's say you want to extend it. Let's say I want to add a second title to this. The process is quite fairly easy. So you copy paste, in this case, just the definition, and we want to call the field subtitle. And I save it, and as you can see on the lower part, the CLI tool picked it up and automatically configured Magnolia in the backend for me. On the React part, I will just extend my components for the title prop. I will duplicate the styled header, add my new format, and I want to have it a little bit smaller as an H3. I save it. And now again, it's picked up from the PWA kit server and from Magnolia side. So if I go back to my system and reload it, and now once I'm editing the title itself, I will see the dialog we just created. I'm adding it, and here we go. I have my subtitle in the dialog, and that's as easy as this to extend your whole e-commerce experience just like that. What else do you get out of the box? Through the abstraction layer and the core configuration, you have the full power of the Magnolia DXP system to compose your landing page with extended functionality. What I want to show you is this way that I'm adding a component variation. And now I want to add, for instance, something for winter. I'm going back to that. Let me choose the product, the luggage I just chose before. I'm adding a variation, and I want to have maybe a UTM campaign for winter sales specifically. And in winter, we don't want to have this first variation being a suitcase. So for this, I would like to have another product. So I go to the product chooser, and maybe gloves are better suited for winter. I want to highlight this in my campaign. I'm choosing it and save it. And then I got like my new product displayed in this campaign without having any specific code on the PWA kit side. I think that's very important. So now I can switch the variation between the original and this one, and I can also choose the audience, or I can add, now I will add manually one. We'll add a UTM campaign, call it winter. I save it and add a name. And that's it. Now the full UTM campaign is configured and it's working with your PWA kit server out of the box. So you don't have to touch or configure anything extra there. The same goes with translation. So if I go to my Hello World title component, I can choose the translation. So I go to German. And add a German translation to it. But of course, you can also use machine translation or any other translation provider to have all the pages and localized and translated. So you don't have to do that this way, but you get that out of the box for every property you can configure in the system. Let's have a look at the rendered page. So this is the PWA kit, and there added UTM campaign to my URL as you would do, and I get my winter clothes. If I change the campaign to summer, it's not configured yet, it will fall back to our luggage, the one we have entered in the component before. And there we go. As easy, and I have a highly personalized front end experience, and the whole storefront is personalized just like that. I think it's a very powerful use case. You can also extend it with a content app. A content app, the concept is structured content. You not always want to add a visible approach. That's very cool for marketers, but sometimes you also want to have more structural approach. You might know it from purely headless headless DXP systems or headless content management systems, like for instance Contentful, where you get like a very structured, limited form to enter data. And we think that might be useful for some use cases. And with this setup, you get that out of the box. I will show you one example where we created inspirations. So we want to have that on multi-channel approach to have that and consumed by different applications, perhaps not only the storefront itself. And I create a new inspiration, maybe winter, and call that winter collection. You can select any kind of images from the system. Just choose something there. And now I can add different rows, and all the structure is something I will show you that quickly, which you can configure with the model within your front-end project. And you see again, you have access to the full product catalog, and you can add multiple products just like that. We use this inspiration as well. If we go to our system and we go back to our storefront, and we have also here an example. If you go to inspirations, it will automatically load the winter collection. You can see that here with the image. I can load it, and then I see all the collections I just entered within the storefront. How does it look like in the back end? We have something called MGNL apps. There's also a Hello World example, and there is a YAML file, which you can copy and paste, where all this structured information are And as a bonus, let me show you how do you extend it with your own component and make them editable in the DXP system. Once you started the console, there are multiple commands, and one is a generate command. For this I press C, I get a dialog and I can create a new component. I will call it new title component. You can choose the type. Page is a template, that's something an author can create and define the page structure. App is what we just have seen. It's an own inspiration app, an extension to Magnolia. And we will create a component and we want to add it to the landing page. When you press create, it will generate bootstrap all the code for you. So you can see there's a new title component, which is a standard React component, and has my title section. And as I have shown with the other component before, it automatically has already some properties. And in this case, I want to add a product ID field, product ID, to choose a product from Salesforce Commerce Cloud. And I'm saving that. Again, the system automatically is wiring everything up for me. And I get the new field within my React component. So the same with title, I get product ID. And the product ID is a JSON format, which gives me all the information I need to do the proper API calls on the storefront side. So for now, let's see, what do I want to get? I want to get the ID and the name of the product. And just here, product ID is ID, product name is name. So with that set up, all this thing is configured. And now there is one new concept. So you get your page structure for the routing, the components, and we have extended it with like just one thing. And this is additionally to the components, you're also getting a templates directory. In the templates directory, you have created a campaign page and a home page, which is the storefront itself. And there is a YAML definition. And in this YAML definition, you can define what the content author should be able to add into specific areas from your template. So everything is there, the namespacing, and then you just add the name and the path to your component definition YAML file. You save it up, and now both systems are wired together. If I go back to the Magnolia editing page and reload it, I will have in the main area, because that's what we have defined, the possibility when I say add component, and there you can see there's a new title component. I click next and I have my title and the product chooser configured to talk to the Magnolia backend and to display all the data. What I haven't highlighted yet is that you get automatically the translation possibilities. So in this case, I showed you that before, you have English and German. And with a very small extension to your package JSON file, and I will quickly open that, you can add new locales and translation possibilities to your system. This is it. So I hope you got a feeling how fast it is to have this full power of the Magnolia DXP and the PWA kit to create amazing experiences in no time. If you have any questions, the whole CLI is adaptable. The wizard is specifically adaptable and configurable for the PWA kit. If you have any feedback, if there's anything we can make your life easier, because our goal is to accelerate the development experience, please don't hesitate to contact either Jan or myself with any feedback and help. We really appreciate that you took the time to go through our demo, and we're looking forward to hear back from you. Thank you so much, and have fun with the Headless Accelerator and the Salesforce PWA kit.